Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers, and if this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by, and please do subscribe and turn on your notification button so you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos. So today we'll be sewing our pencil trousers. I already have a video on how to cut this pencil trousers, so you can quickly watch that in case you do not know how to go about it. So we cut it on fabric, and this is it. So it's a pencil trouser, and we have the front bodies here. We had notched the dart position, same with the back panel. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to sew the inseam. I want to use inseam pockets. Okay, to create the inseam pockets, this is the edge of the front panel. Okay, and that's the crotch part. So on this other side, I'll measure from the waistline. I'll measure 2 inches downwards. 2 inches downwards. And from the 2 inches, I'm measuring 6 inches again downwards. Now that way you'll be sure your hand will be able to enter comfortably. So then when you're done with marking that, you can notch it. So you notch it. And this other part too, so you know where you're sewing. So to make an inseam pocket, this is the piece of fabric that I'll be using. I ensure that this side is straight. So when I'll be using about 1/2 inch. So I'll rule a line 1/2 inch. Okay, because we are using 1/2 inch as a seam allowance for the pocket. So then I'll place my hand like this. I will draw a shape following the way I have placed this my hand. Okay, so making it more pronounced now, this is the shape. That's the shape. I'm just making it bolder now. Okay, so that's the shape. And then before I cut it out, I'll be adding 1/2 inch allowance all the way round, following the same shape. That's what I'll use as the seam allowance for the pocket. You can just measure that out, but I'm using freehand, so then you use your scissors and you cut this out. So we have our pocket pattern now, and we'll make this a pair. So we'll make another pair for it. That will be for the 2 sides. So before I go further with the inseam pocket, I need to work on my darts first. Okay, so this is where I notch for the darts. This is for the front bodies, and this for the back. Okay, so I'll make my dart length 4 inches, and I'll be using 1/2 inch on both sides to sew. Okay, so this is the dart, and I'll fold it like this. Ensure that it is straight. Now from the waistline, I'll measure 4 inches downward, and I'll be using 1/2 inch this way. Now remember, it's on fold, and we added 1 inch for the dart allowance. Okay, so you can use your ruler. Okay, to slant it from this point to the 4 inches you've marked. That's what I'll be doing for all the darts. So I have finished sewing the darts for the front bodies and the back bodies. Before I move over to the ironing board, I need to work on the inseam pocket. Okay, so I'll take out one of this. You know, they are in pairs, so I'll take out one of this and then bring the one that will be the right side facing this right side. Okay, so this one will go with this one now. So that's how it will be. And then the back bodice here has this one as its own pair. So the right side has to face the right side. Then this becomes one leg of the trouser. Okay, so I'll be showing us with one pair first. So now I'll bring in the inseam pockets, and they are in pairs too. Okay, so this the inseam pocket, and I've marked where it will be the pocket opening. So I'll bring this one. The right side has to face the right side like this. Then you pin. So the same thing with this other side, the front panel. So the right side has to face the right side here. So you pin. And this way. So now when you're pinning it, remember we added 1/2 inch all round on the pocket. So when you're pinning it, following the pocket opening, we marked 6 inches. So you have to bring the 6 inches here. Okay, and then you have 1/2 inch on top, 1/2 inch excess, so that you will use it as your seam allowance. Okay, so now so that it will align with this other side, the front panel will align with the back panel like so. So we sew. So when you're sewing, you sew using 1/2 inch inward. You top stitch, then you sew straight down. When you're done sewing like so, you now turn it this way. Now this the same allowance, you turn it this way and then you top stitch. So you're done with this part. You're done with the front panel. So you do the same thing to the back panel. You're using 1/2 inch inwards to sew all the way from the beginning to the end of the pocket. So now when you're done, when you are finished doing top stitching it, you bring back the front panel and make sure the waist aligns together. They are together. You pin, and the pocket too must align. So you pin, and then this other part too was a line. So you pin. So the next thing, you will use 1/2 inch, sew it to this point, and then use 1/2 inch all the way around this spot here, and then down to the hem. So sometimes when I sew and I notice that one side is longer than the other side, I'll cut off the thread and then take it from this other end. That's because we cut everything equal, so I don't want to trim anything out because we cut all of them equal. So I'll take it from this other end and still use the 1/2 inch to sew upward to meet up with where I stopped the other stitches. So I'll do the same thing to the other leg of the trouser before I move over to the ironing board to iron all of the seams open. Okay, so I have sewn both the left and the right leg of the trousers. Okay, I've ironed all the darts and the seam pocket. Okay, so this is the front, and the front is always smaller than the back side, and the back side is longer too. So you bring the two together at the crotch like this, and then you pin the 2 points together. Ensure that this part is open. Then you pin, meaning you have the front to the front, and you run the stitches all the way to the back. Now I'll be doing just a normal zipper. This is the zip that I'm using. So I'll sew using 1/2 inch loose stitch to where I want the zipper to stop. Maybe somewhere around here. Loose stitch, stop stitch, and then all the way to the back will be normal stitches. So I've inserted the zipper and I prepared this band. I measured the length of my waist measurement plus 2 inches. Plus 2 inches. Okay. So that's the length of the band. And I made it 3 inches width. So I iron out 1/2 inch. So I'll be left with about 2.5 inches. So I'll take it to the waist, and I'll make 1.5 to stick out. Okay, the 1.5 will stop around here. So measuring 1.5, and I'll mark this. I'll bring it to the trousers. I'll start from the left, and I'll bring it here and place it where the zipper stops. Then I'll pin it. And then you can pin it all the way to the other end. So you can pin it all the way to the other end, and I'll use 1/2 inch to sew it to the other end. So I'm done sewing this, and it remained 1/2. So the 2 inches we added is exhausted now. So I'll fold it this way. I'll first of all trim out the zip excess, and then I'll fold it this way, and then bring it, I iron out 1/2 inch here, so I'll fold it and bring it this way, and then use 1/2 inch to sew. And then you turn it inside out. Okay, and then this other side I'll do the same thing. I'll fold it this way, and then bring in this one like this, and so I use 1/2 inch to sew. So you turn it inside out, just like the other side, and we need to complete this band now. Bring it this way and sew it all the way to the other end. Make sure it's relaxed. Okay, so this is our band. I've ironed it and I did the hemming. So I did the hemming, taking out the inches I added for the hemming. Now I iron it from the wrong side, and if you've noticed, I've ironed another half inch inwards. That's because I want to have a neat finishing after sewing. Okay, so I'll turn it inside out like this, and then I'll take it to the machine this way and sew it on the edge all round on the two legs. And there's the final look of our trousers. So if this tutorial add any value to you at all, kindly like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.